Good morning, Rabbi Isai. Gewaldig. Lili Nishmat Simi Mirosi Ruspas Mordechai. Check this out. But you have to listen carefully.
Who's excited? Who's excited? Who's pumped? This year, right here, is pumped because the MDY Shabbaton is upon us. This is our third year. And let's face it, it's sold out. Kacha. But guess what? Guess what we got? There is always the MDY raffle. So they hold on to a few spots and then they make a raffle. And you know those who say, well, if the Eibishter want, this is the time. Right now, does the Eibishter want? So the raffle is going to be probably your last chance to be able to join us to get inspiration, fire, to connect with the MDY Yidden of all stripes and colors from all around the globe for one magnificent Shabbat. So join us in the raffle so that you can join us for Shabbat.
All the money from the raffle, any dollar you put into the raffle goes to tzedakah, goes straight to MDY for the causes that we do. And you might win. When is the raffle? I don't know when. The drawing is right before, well, maybe a week before. I don't know when. When was it last year? Do you guys remember? Enough time to give you time to fly. Rabbi Isai, Jonathan Austin. I don't understand. So I guess his daughter got married in America. He lives here by us, Ranana. Alan Gross's daughter's wedding. Mazel Tov, Mazel Tov. Yaakov Levitin meets Yoshi at a wedding in Lakewood. We miss Yoshi. I don't know if you chap that Yoshi's not here. And therefore his art is not really here. We have Kobe, our Hebrew editor that jumped in and is doing some stuff. But we miss him. Rabbi, wow, big news. Woodmere launched. Thank you, Kalman of the Five Towns. Those of you who have been with us as long as Jonathan Austin, all the way from the beginning of Brachas. Remember Kalman of the Five Towns. So here it is. They launched. Somebody tell that guy in the front to turn his back the other way. Whatever. Maybe they have two screens. Who knows? You have what I'm saying over here? This guy right over here, is he watching the shir or not watching the shir? I don't know what's going on here.
He has a phone.
He has a phone.
He's on his phone.
Okay. you need the Rashiva, the guy that's watching. Yeah, I got you. Okay, here it is, 7:25 and Thursday at 8:30 p.m. This is Binyamin Meir at some sort of beautiful Nachal. What is it? Nachal? Fitzbani. He's mamish caught red-handed. It's unbelievable. The Israelis, once again, every single person that came to shir yesterday got a 100 shekel gift. This costs 100 shekel in the stores. Some guy decided he's going to make it his thing. He worked on it for a month, gathered some money, gave $1,000 from his own money. He wanted that to give. Unbelievable. Was noch do we have over here? My son Morty, it's a game. Oh, let me show you. It's a game. It's one of these games that has zigzag. It's called zigzag. Right over here. Have a seat, please. Do me a favor. If you're coming in late, you have to sit down. My son Morty Pariser was caught watching the daf during his free time in school. Attaches a picture when the Rebbe first noticed him in school. His Rebbe and classmates gathered around his desk to check out the excitement. My son encouraged them to join the MDY family. Looking forward to joining you for Shabbos at the Shabbaton. Listen to this. I have a full bitachon that our name will be called during the grand raffle for a free room. This goes well with a Freilich and Chanukah. Yitzi Pariser, I hear what you're saying. Will he sell the ticket? Yitzi Pariser, Pomona, New York. So I got a few things here. This is a Satmar Chassid MDY listener. So I'm going to read his first email, which is nice. He was a shtickle upset. The reason the Satmar Rebbe bells pre-war, Minchas Eluzin, Minkach, Wogdoilim, were against Daf Yomi because in those days that good used Daf Yomi for their propaganda and were part of the Zionist movement. But today, thanks to organizations like Dirshun MDY, who promotes the Daf for the only purpose of spreading Torah without any connection to the Zionist state, a lot of Satmar rabbis agree there's no problem learning the Daf. My hope is you should keep MDY strictly clear from any connection to politics or politicians, so Satmar people at MDY should not have any problem staying Satmar Chus at MDY listener. Here he goes on to say that he was very disturbed by the email that I read, because basically, El Kvoid Rav Eliyom Gdoili Marbitzi Torah B'Deirenu. Yisrael Wurzburger from Muncie. By the way, you're a Wurzburger, right? Not from Muncie. What's your name? From Toronto. Maybe you're related, maybe you're not. Shalom Aleichem. We have, well, you're not a guest. Just like David is not a guest. Who else? Who's oh, Shalom Aleichem. What's your name? Where do I know you from?
I've been here a couple times.
Okay. Mamsh like Mishpacha, Gewaldig. So, yesterday I was shocked to hear that you read someone's email, self-hating Satmar Chassid, who basically labeled publicly the whole Satmar community, which counts at least 50,000 families, as Soynei Yisrael, Rahman al-Islam. No, you didn't chap what you did. No, with a K-N-O-W. You didn't chap what you did. No other community in the world does so much chesed for all kinds of Yidden like Satmar. Satmar was the founder of the most chesed organizations, Tzalach, Chaverim, Bikhoilim, Tomchei Shabbos, all founded by Satmar. Just as an example, there's a Yid called Shalom Mordechai Rubashkin, has no connection to Satmar. Just ask him whom gives he credit to release how much millions of Satmar community have spent on him. The list goes on and on. Yes, we might have a different approach when it comes to okay, fine, I'm not going to go into that part because then I'm labeling them. So I don't want to. Rabbi Yid, sometimes people write me emails and they say things about me and I read it in public. I didn't label myself as I'm saying that Ploini said that. I think most people that heard that email that I read from the Satmar, they were kind of not comfortable, to say the least. And I don't think anybody bought into it. It's one person's view from London.
Just for the record, for this guy, Herschel Weber started at Sala. He's not a Satmar Chassid.
Yeah. I also thought about it and whatever. I didn't think it was.
Just for the record.
What is this? I don't know what
I
this
wrote a book about it.
Good morning, Rabbi Sai. Washington, D.C., second light of Hanukkah, and we are listening to the Rebelli's Daf.
What's up, shot?
Spreading the light, Azovi Hanukkah Daf down, all the way next to the Capitol. Mizmala the Netzoitzes, Rabbi said, Mizmala the Netzoitzes.
Yeah, you went over this. Reb Ari Chaimowitz. Masechta sponsored by David Salomon in dedicated memory of Avi Meir Reb Shmuel Baruch Ben Reb Chaim Tzvi Doiv Zichron Levracha. Masechta sponsored anonymous Lili Nishmas Doidi Shlomi Yehuda Zichron Levracha Ben Shmuel Chaim Asher Shoka V'Lo Mekoshim Kol Chayav anonymous Zech Nishmas Nochem Tzvi Ben David sponsored by Scarber Capital in honor of our friends Meir Kovacs Taki and Shamshi Shlafrak for the devotion Torah study in the Shir. Joel Gedalius Lili Nishmas my father Jack Gedalius anonymous Hatzlacha Baruch Nisav Gashmis anonymous from London Parnassus B'Shefa. Anonymous, please down for Shlema for the world's best dad, Aaron Ben Chai Sarah. Anonymous, Brachad B'Lidai, Baruch Tzvi Nisim Ben Shoshana Leah, V'Yehuda B'Yom Mechav. Anonymous from London, Hatzlach B'Parnasa, Ari Simon, L'Refur Shlema, Avi Moiri Baruch B'Miriam. Weekly sponsors: Beckenroth family, L'Zech Nishmas Yosef Ben Eliezer Yisrael, Galud, a Lumzer Talmud who lived Torah his whole life. Daily sponsors in honor of Milton Nussbaum, whose chesed and learning always inspires us. From your wife, children, and grandchildren, we love you. Peter Merker, in memory of Morris Denker, Moshe Ben Pesach on his yard side. Shalom Korn. Is that you? Your son. In honor of Yosef Korn, who's listening to the shir in person today, happy birthday. Wow, Geschmack. Eric Levitsky, Avimori Achazin Nechemia Ben Yitzchok Lev, in memory of Avimori Achazin Nechemia Ben Yitzchok Lev, who is Nifter, Chozayin Kislev, Toshin Pei Gimel. Leib or Lev? What do you think it is? Lev. Lev? Okay. Schuster family, Yehuda Leib, Ben Manya, injured in Australia attack and still in ICU. He should have a refuah shlema. I see that Lubavitcher Chassid, and I heard that was a Bacher. Is that the same person? MDY Art, refuah shlema Yonatan Edom Ben Mesheva Bracha. Refuah shlema Mordechai Ben Esther. Refuah Sayela Daniel Zer Ben Ayelet Esther. Rabbi, so here's the question for today. If you came to Shir today, and this is the only halacha that becomes clearer, and there might be people out there, a lot of times on Shabbos, your kippah, your yarmulke, especially if it's black, it falls on the floor. What could you do and what can't you do? I see people on Shabbos taking it, they go like this, or they go like this. Is there any issue to clean off the dust on Shabbos. Let's say your suit, you rub against the wall, and you get a nice white thing of dust here. What could you do? And what anybody want to try to guess what you're not allowed to do?
It depends if you're both.
On Shabbos, you're wearing. You're right. You are right. On Shabbos, you're wearing your suit to shul. Are you makbid? I would assume that you're makbid. Okay. What?
Depends how someone else.
I don't know if there's such a thing. No, he's not makbid. It's on your thing that you're makbid.
You're not allowed to do it.
What?
Externally, you can do it, take off.
Dust. How do you take off external dust?
If you take off the top. If it's inside, you can't.
Okay. What we're gonna see is that it's most likely a issa d'Rabbanan to clean your yarmulke in any way, unless it's like a piece of cholent. Sometimes in the kiddush, when you're jumping for the cholent, the yarmulke falls into the cholent. Then you'd be able to take off the beans and the potatoes from the top, but not to go into the thing. Yeah, but I'm talking about dust. Dust. How do you have levels of dust? How do you have dust? You know how to get the top level off without the bottom level?
Blow on the top.
And it's not going to take the bottom level off at all?
Part of the place we can blow on it. You can't use your hand.
Now, it could be that the
Life is
Svardim.
mask if you blow on the top, it's fine. Life
Well,
is-
don't paskin here, Barabim, when you don't know 100. This could be a big problem for people. Because in shul, I see a lot of people, they take it, they go like this, they go like this.
We're saying it's not.
Even they take some spit, which could be a deraisa.
We're not passing here. Nobody should.
Okay, we're not right. I'm for sure not passing it, but you're saying Leiby said it.
Leiby.
They might hear. They don't know who Leiby is, and they think it's a Paisik Adar.
Takes a test on 1,000 blood.
Okay, upcoming. Says the Gemara, we're holding the Tzadik Gimel and base all the way on top. 4 lines from the top. I am telling you, do not worry, because Daf Tzadik Kain, Daf Tzadik Vav are easy and very short. So, it says in the Mishnah, we're talking about laundering blood out of clothing that got stained by the blood of a chatas. Only one carbon called a chatas. If the blood goes on your beged, you must remove it. And it says in the Mishnah, Roy lahazal l'mutimai. I'll tell you now why. I don't have to wait for later. A maisa. Start off the shir with a maisa. A boy, Bacher, comes to Rav Shteiman. The Yortzeit was just a few days ago, and tells him that he has a shayla. He's going out with this girl, and he found out that she wasn't always as frum as she is now. Now she's mamish stark, but there was a tkufa that she wasn't so stark. Should he marry her?
Yes.
So, thank you, Rav Shteiman. Who's that? Oh, you. Okay, thank you. So, unbelievable. So Rav Shteiman says, if the girl came to ask me, I would say she shouldn't marry you. Why? He says because she did tshuva, and she's a new person, and she has a new life. You don't believe in tshuva. You don't believe that a person just could. So says Rabbi Yochim Aronoff from our kollel. He said he doesn't want you. He's going to say time of the cross, so to speak. Like try to understand, so we can remember. Why is it that chatas you can't have any blood from the chatas on your beged, but other korbanos maybe yeah. He says because chatas comes to forgive an avera. We look forward. You don't want to remember. Oh, that's the blood from that avera I did. No, you did tshuva. Now you move forward. We live in the future, not in the past. Yeah, you want to do more tshuva. That's something else. But don't keep on reminding. A lot of people are stuck. I was such a balavera. I did this and this. Okay, you did tshuva. Now a new life. You have to believe in tshuva. All right. Oh no, go weiter. He's saying not weiter in the shir. Go weiter in life. So it says in the Mishnah that it has to be appropriate for Azar. It has to be something that you could do. You could sprinkle the blood, then you do kibbutz. Limute, what does it come to exclude? Kibbutz pachas migdei hazaya b'chli zeh upachas migdei hazaya b'chli zeh. Let's say here's a person. He did kabbalas hadam like this. Whatever the shear is, I don't know what the shear is, but you received in 2 different cases. Huh? Yeah. You received the blood in 2 different kalim, and then you combine the 2. No, you can't. This Anya, Rabbi Chalafta Bar Shol Omer. So just to pause here, Rabbi Chalafta Bar Shol looked it up. He's one more time in Shas. He's in Brachas when it talks about Sheva Brachas and Shabbos. But he's in Yerushalmi a lot. And over there's a halacha. I'm throwing it out because not everybody's so familiar with this, although many people are. Halacha that we're makbid every day. That when the chazan says moedim, and you're standing like a lot, then it's a big problem because it looks like everybody's bowing to Hashem, and you're like, not me. So what do you do if you're Mil Shemon Esrei? You're davening. You have to bow with him. You're holding my Shema Koleinu, not by the bracha, not by Hashem's name, but all of a sudden you hear the chazan moedim. So you got to go like this. And lechatchila, you should always be with the chazan. That's why you're supposed to, if you come late to shul, and so you daven with the chazan, so that when he gets to moedim, you do moedim with him. And you say, not the moedim the rabbanon, you say the moedim with him, and then it looks like you're bowing with him. That halacha, to bow, is Rabbi Chalafta's halacha. Kiddush Pachas, what does he say? Rabbi Chalafta Bar Shol Kiddush Pachas b'chdei hazoya b'chliza, or Pachas b'chdei hazoya b'chliza. This is already, we're jumping, by the way, we could go back and forth. We're jumping now to paraduma water, meichatas. And he mixed in, according to the shita that needs, well, you need to start out with a shear. The sprinkling is a machlokes. Do you need a shear on the person? Not, but to start out with, you need the shear of enough to have enough water to sprinkle. You start out with half the shear. Instead of 10 milliliters, let's say you did 5, and then you added another 5 in another kli, and you put them together, no good. Like Kiddush. So they ask the question, B'damal. That's halacha by chatas. What about blood? Could you combine the two? What's the question? Do we say it's halacha l'Moshe Messinai? And halacha l'Moshe Messinai, you can't. That we all know. Paraduma, suchayik. Don't ask any questions. It makes no sense logically. The guy that's sprinkling, he becomes tamei. The guy that gets sprinkled becomes tart. Halacha l'Moshe Messinai. So this is a special halacha over there. You can't combine two shiurim, two small amounts to make it one shiur. What in the world? So if you want to play a game here, I think this is a geschmacke game, but you have to close your Gemara. You can't cheat. Noam, you can't do it. You can't keep on looking. No, I see you keep. Noam, fix. I want you to read this Rashi right here. For the oil. Here we go. Ready? It's geschmacke Rashi. Read. Not people that learned it before. Why do you ruin the game for? Okay, that was it. Thank you, Yishkoya. But I'm saying if you don't have Nikudas, it doesn't read well. Midikarinam b'mayim v'lo b'mayim. What Rashi is saying is midikarinam b'mayim, because that's what it says in the pasuk. I'll show you in a second. Here we go. It says b'mayim. You see the bottom one? Ba. What's the difference? And it doesn't say bi. So ba means ba, the water that we spoke about in the pasuk before. What? Ba is beha. I have no idea what you're talking about. I didn't go to school, so I don't know what you're saying. Yeah. Ba is beha. Very good. I didn't learn dikduk. Bimayim means the general water. So now let's go back to the pasuk. The first pasuk says v'lakhu. This is the difference. This is the v'lakhu, gathering the water, gathering, and then it says v'lakach v'taval b'mayim. What's v'taval? B'mayim, the mayim that you in the first pasuk. In other words, the lekicha has to be a shear. So because it says the word ba and not be, so I know that you need a shear even by the velakhu. Even pasuk Yud Zayin in the beginning to start out with, you need a full shear. You can't combine 2 half shiurim. But that's because it says ba. What about bayos? Bayos it says badam. Same thing. I can do the same exact thing. The pasuk vav comes to explain pasuk K. And you need ba. You need the full shear all the way in the beginning. You can't combine 2 shiur. Maybe that's the pshat. I just love the first time I look in Rashi. Not really, because I have nekudas. But I said, oh, this is going to be good for all the people that don't have nekudas. Ba and ba. How do you do ba ba? Says the Gemara. Or v'taval b'mayim achanami ksiv v'taval badam. So you have to jump to Rashi to understand what's going on here. So what if it says taval b'mayim? And Rashi says ba and bi. Toshma domer Reb Zrika omer Reb Elazar av b'dam lo yikidesh. that there's no difference between water of the paraduma and blood. You cannot start off with less than a shear and combine the shear later. It has to start off with the right shear. Omar Rava, Tanya v'toval v'loi misapeg. So misapeg means this. In Hebrew they say l'nagev b'chumus. You take a pita and you go like this. There's the v'toval. You sticking your finger into the blood. That's what the Torah wants you to do. There's misapeg, doing this, gathering from the side of the kli. That's awesome. That doesn't work. To gather, when the butter, the cream cheese is on the top over there. No, you got to go into the middle, the center. No, not this. V'toval. Here we go. V'toval. This is what you need. To stick your finger into the blood. Don't gather some leftovers from the side. I said over a joke from it was really from elementary school, and I said I was going to say it for the kids. We have 3 kids over here sitting here, so I'm going to tell you guys could just listen in. So the guy was talking Musar to his friend. He's telling him like a Musar asked. He says, everybody you know has something strange about them, some idiosyncrasies, whatever it is, some weird thing. So the guy says, not me. I'm like perfect. He says, not you. Yeah. How do you blow your nose? He says, what do you mean? With my right hand, he says, oh! He says, what? He says, most people blow it with a tissue. Zog the Gemara, it had more to do with the Hebrew shir, because it's minagev. Badam, at shir badam shir tvila mikaroi, that you have to start off with enough blood from the beginning. Here we just have the psukim here if you want to see. The 3 limudim. V'toval HaKohen says, "Voy badam v'yizam min hadam." So V'toval comes to tell us no niguv of the nose. Badam, you need a shear. V'yizam min hadam. Now we're holding min hadam. Min hadam shebe inyan. Interesting lashon here. That it has to be that every single one of the tvilas of the hazais has to be a new dunk. Interesting halacha. We're going to discuss it a little bit. You can't just stick your finger in and say, okay, I have enough, I'll go like this and like this. No. Stick your finger in, boom. Stick your finger in again. Every one of the 7 hazais that we do in the heichal, a new dunk. It's interesting, I didn't mention this in a long time. A lot of the Torah, or most of the Torah they had in Spain, is from this halacha right over here. So the famous story when they took the 4 Rishonim, they kidnapped them and they brought them, and I forgot his name, Ramosha Kodavir or something. He was one of them, and he ended up in Spain. They put, different. That's how the Torah. They took Doilei Olam and they kidnapped them, and they ended up in different parts of the world. So I think it was Ramosha. He came into a shul, and the Rav, talking about 1,000 years ago, right? And the Rav of the shul gave a speech, and he said this halacha. He said that every time that the kohen dunks his finger, he has to go to the mikvah. V'toval it's boy badam. He learned pshat, v'tavala, he literally has to go into the mikveh. So he stopped the speech, he says, and explained to him that he's wrong, that it means that his finger has to go into the, and the tzibur was very impressed with him and his Torah, and they made him the Rav, and he was able to spread Torah. That's how he was mashpi on them. But this is the halacha right here, that you have to dunk your finger in every single time from one kli. You need all the here. So these are the 3 limudim. Says the Gemara, I need all these words. You have to dunk your finger 7 times. It doesn't say that you need the shear to begin with. Maybe you added blood later. It has to be, initially it has to have the right amount. Because I think, I wouldn't know the halacha. I can't take from the rim, the edge. Because it needs to be in the blood. What are we already talking about? We just said a second ago. The third limud is min adam. It has to be dam shebe'inyan, like the same blood that we spoke about before. I cannot use the same finger twice to do 2 azars. You dunk your finger in, you do azar, that's it. It's all over. In other words, what does that mean? That the blood on your finger that's left over after you go like this is not kosher for azar. What happens if you touch your beged with that blood that's left over on your finger? This blood from the chatos. You go like this, stick it in. You go like that, one azah. Then you take that blood and you touch your beged, then what? You don't have to do kibbutz. It's not right for azah, so it's puzzle. So that's it. You don't have to wash your clothing. It's a different type of blood. Misayel Rebbe Lazar, Mati Middeldorf. If you just fell into Zevachim today, don't worry about it. You'll start getting the idea. I know. It's just like, woo! What Masechta did you leave us? Well, I'm not starting. I just want to know Baruch. Where was it? It was not in Kachim, right?
It was
August
August of last year.
of last year.
July.
So it's more than a year. So it's before Kachim, because we just start. I'm telling you, give it a couple of days. You'll get used to all the inyanim. It'll be fine.
20 minutes.
What? It's just 20 minutes. Don't give up yet. That's all I'm saying. What's your name, Tzadik? Next to Mata. Yeah, you. From? Shalom Aleichem. Welcome.
This so you're also talking about the chatas bachutz or only the chatas b'fnim?
We're talking about chatas pnimi now.
So the whole thing about the dan.
It's not. I don't know. No. Rashi says that we're talking about pnimi because that's the main pasuk. But chatas is chatas.
So the whole Mishnah is talking about blood is also bachutz?
Yeah. That we had a sugi about that. Is the pasuk talking about bachutz and we learn pnim from chutz, or the pasuk talking about pnim and we learn?
Talking about b'fnim.
But the main one is pnim. Doesn't mean that a chutz not to exclude chutz. It's chatos, not the chatos oif, but all the main chatos. Yeah. So this is what we just discussed. You have one sprinkle per finger. Anything left over on the finger is possible. Your Talmud says in the name of Rav Amram we have a contradiction here. He is sprinkling from the inner chatos, and the blood spritz from his finger onto his beged. So it says, actually, he's a ton kibbutz. If you didn't finish the whole, we're going to see what it means. Mishiza in ton kibbutz. My love, what does it mean? L'chayr means actually gomer melahaza is ton kibbutz. If he's in the middle of all 7, he has to sprinkle 7 times. I think we have a picture just here, like this. Yeah, he's doing this in the you see the 7 on the floor. So until he finished all 7, and a little blood got in his garment, you have to wash out that spot. Once he's done, even though the blood is still on his finger, ein ton kibbutz. So you see that even though, that this blood is possible. Loi hachika amar. Actually, yatsa hazah miyadei ton kibbutz. It only means, it doesn't mean all 7. It means from each and every one. Mishiyatza hazah miyadei ein ton kibbutz. Once in that one finger, forget all 7. Forget the end in that finger. Once you applied one sprinkle, that's it. That blood becomes possible. Like we said. Now we're talking about a paraduma. We're going back to the water of the paraduma. That's what they used to do. I guess there's no towels. I don't know if you ever had the opportunity to wipe your hand on a cow, but I'm assuming, and I'll even show you a little video, some of the hairs are going to get on your hand, the dirt that he lays in the ground is going to get, but okay, you're supposed to take your hand and go like this on the cow. The what? Yeah, you got to burn it, exactly. I know. You got to burn it. As the pasuk says, not Rashi. Here, we're going to see in a second. Gomar in. Loi, gomar loi. So that's only if it says gomar melahazis. When he's done the whole entire sprinkling process, what does he do here? Let's just show you. Here he is standing. Where do you shech the paraduma? Out on the Har HaZeisim, outside of the Beis HaMikdash, facing the Heichal. So he goes and I love how the AI messes it up. It goes in the ear a little bit. I don't know, he catches it. The point is that he sprinkles towards the Heichal 7 times. When he's done, what do? Then you wipe your hand on the cow. So, actually, he's sorry, I skipped somewhere. Gomar in. Only if he finished all 7, then that's when he wipes his hand down. Loi gomar loi. So you see that you don't use the finger, the whole hand, but you don't wipe your finger in between on the cow. So you see that even though you finished doing hazah number 1, you're done, let's say. You went like this. You don't wipe your finger. Why? Because the blood is still good. It's still kosher. And you're telling me that the blood is not kosher. Amalei, no. Gomar, no, you do wipe your finger. So why does it say Gomar and the hand? There's 2 things. There's wiping the hand and there's wiping the finger. Gomar, you wipe your entire hand, your whole palm, whatever's dirty with blood. Loi Gomar, but if you didn't finish all 7, then you do wipe your one hand, your one finger. Why? Because it's not right. The blood is not right anymore. You must wipe your finger. The Gemara just.
What about when you do the fnim? Does it wipe his finger between it?
Yeah, we're talking. I don't think so. I don't know. Yeah, I hear. I don't know. You don't. Pass it up. But that's the process of doing it. Oh, let's see. Maybe we'll have an answer for you. Says the Gemara, when you're done, okay, so you go like this, you wipe it on the cow. Shenemar, because it says in the pasuk, v'sarav v'sapar leinov, es oirav es pirsha, you burn the entire paraduma. So now the blood that you have on your hand is going to be burned. You have something to do with the blood. Let's buy b'mayim kaneach. Here, so take a look at this. If you wipe your finger in between, look what's going to happen. It's going to get a little sticky with stuff, and it's going to ruin your hazah. Omar Abaye b'spas mizrok. No, you wipe it down on the here, something like this. Just on the edge of the kli, you wipe it down. So maybe that's what you do in this might answer what you're asking. Kiduchsiv, kifayre zav. Kifayre zav means the golden bowls, but it's an interesting lashon. It should say kara zav, whatever the lashon is. Why does it say kifayre? Kifayre also means, says Rashi, to clean. It's a bowl that cleans. All right, here we go. Mati, brand new Mishnah, which actually means like a brand new Masechta. You don't have to be here. This could be your first day, and we're starting a brand new topic. Nita zalar. What if blood from a carbon chatos sprinkles on the hide of this animal? There's blood on the cow, on the sheep. The Torah says, yeah. When blood sprinkles on clothing, you must launder the clothing that has any kind of blood from a chatos. As Rabbi Yaakov explained, only a chatos. To try to guess what HaKadosh Baruch Hu meant by that, not to remember the future, but for us, a memory aid. A chatos only, not a shlamim. Because you don't want to remember the future. Okay, fine. So, but what if the blood didn't hit your clothing, it hit the animal? You have to clean out the animal. So it says in the Mishnah, Nita Zalahar actually hufshat, when the hide is still attached to the animal, any tongue kibus. So that's a little bit of our sugya. When it's interesting halacha. When you have meat in the Beis Hamikdash anywhere, it can become tamei. If sheretz touches it, the meat becomes tamei. But not the hide. The hide won't become tamei. The hide is protected. Why? Because it's not right to do anything with it. What are you going to do with hide that's on an animal? If it's off the animal, I could fashion a pair of shoes from it. But it's on the animal. And it's not meat. It's not right for anything. So meat becomes tamei, the hide not. So that's what he says. If you already, what's the word? Skinned it, or what's the? Laid. Okay. Mishahuvshat ton kibus. Once it's off the animal, actually huvshat in a ton kibus. If it's still on the animal and you get blood on it, you don't have to launder it. Mishahuvshat ton kibus. Once it's off the animal, you have to rinse it. You have to clean it. That's what Rabbi Yehuda says. Even if it's off the animal, what is it? It's nothing right now. So that's what we're going to discuss. Is it something or is it not? Or we view it as nothing? Because right now it's just a piece of hide. Do we look at the future? Well, this hide is going to be fashioned in some sort of kli, and therefore, if it's makabel tuma or not. Says the Mishnah, this is interesting. You don't have to throw your entire beketcha or whatever big dekuna that you have into the laundry. You just have a little drop here, you take it to the sink, or whatever you use, a special chemical, you take it out. It has to be something that in the future could become tamei, but let's say a piece of wood, you don't have to wash a piece of wood. V'roy lekibos, it has to be something that's you're able to wash. The Gemara is going to explain. Echad habeged ve'echad hasak ve'echad ha'ar tu'unim kibos. A leather, it's not just a beged made out of polyester, thank you very much, or whatever it is. It means, even other materials, not only tzemer pishtim, but other materials as well, such as a leather jacket. You have a motorcycle jacket, you have to wash it. And that's also the Gemara. Yes or no? Is leather something that you wash? Is it something that you launder? And at the end of the day, we're going to see enough community between soft leather and hard leather. Soft is something that you wear, so yes, according to everybody. And hard leather, we're going to have a machlekes. Ba'akivas b'makom kadosh. Where do you launder it? You can't just bring it to the laundromat. You have to do it in the Beis Hamikdash. Ushbir kli cheres b'makom kadosh. Also, here's the pasuk. Ukli cheres asher tevushal boy. If you cook a carbon in earthenware, yishaver, you must break it. Why? The Rishonim explain. Because what?
Nicer.
Right. The Isser of Nicer, anything left overnight becomes Asr. So now you have an Isser in your Kli. You got to get rid of the Kli. You got to break it. Where do you break it? Only in the Beis Hamikdash. Huh? Blias of the Nicer. It's like you look at it, you view it as a piece of Nicer. Ushviras Kli Cheres b'makom kadosh. Umerika ushtifa b'klina choshes b'makom kadosh. This halacha of shtifa merika, you have the. I'm just showing this to Mati because Mati didn't see yet. That you have to wash out the Kli from the blias. That must be done, and we're talking about a copper. That must be done in the Beis Hamikdash. What? Which part? Oh. I think. But I would think it means also other ones because nicer is nicer. But okay. Zevachim b'chatas mekachi kachim. I don't know. I'm not going to argue with him. Zevachim b'chatas mekachi kachim. Over here, there's a chumrah the chatas has that no other, even kachi kachim, other asham, whatever it is, doesn't have this idea. Which one? Kibus, because we just discussed two halachas: laundering a beged and merika shtifa. We're showing the washing. That every carbon has, says Rashi. You have to wash out, and that's why I don't know but kibus. To launder your beged, the blood of only one animal, only one carbon, and that is the chatas carbon. Minani mili, how do you know that blood going on anything else, other materials? What if it's everything? Really? What does Rashi say? Only chatas? Because the art school would go with Rashi, bro. Yeah.
Fill you up with shot also.
This is talking about the meat, it's not blood.
No, that I know. That I said. That I just said. That Shtifa Marika is everything, and it's only in kibbutz. That I just mentioned. But in the he's talking about breaking. I'm talking about breaking. He says the machlekes Rishonim in breaking. That's what he says. But does it work on everything also? Is it halakha for everything? Because nicer is nicer. The reason is nicer. The Rishonim say it's nicer.
Burning the kli, you just break it so you don't use it again.
Right. Once you break a kli cheres, it's done. The tumah.
It's not tumah.
Ain't it on shvir? Wow. Yeah, but it's kli cheres. You don't do merika shtiva kli cheres. Minani mili. Ton rabbanon beged. Ein li'elo beged. Minayin l'rabbis or b'shushat. How do I know the hide? And that's what we're going to be discussing now. Tamaloi mar sheyizel le'el techabes. What does it mean? Because if you look at the pasuk, check out this pasuk. Because again, if you're going to read the Gemara, it's not going to. But now you understand it because the pasuk says yiza twice. V'asher yiza, it's twice. So from the second time, I'm going to add other types of material like leather. Or actually hufshat, maybe. If you're going to add hide, so even if it's still on the animal, beged. It's like clothing. Ma beged a royal kabatuma. Clothing is something that's mekabatuma. I've called a royal kabatuma. Divrei Rabbi Yehuda. So one shita is hide you have to wash. Rabbi Lazar Omer beged ain't leil beged. Now they have a sack. The kol minei begadim. How do I know it means even silk and other types of material? Polyester today. Hamaloymar. Asher olel t'chabes. Yochash ani marbe or meshuv. Maybe it means even hide. Now he argues. Even hide, which came off the animal, and it's not even fashioned in a kli. Hamaloymar beged. Ma beged dover hamakabel tuma. I've called dover hamakabel tuma. So Rabbi Yehuda was the one that says haroi lekabel tuma. It's going to in the future be makabel tuma, and he's learning it's makabel tuma right now today. So the Gemara says, "My benayu, what kind of clothing, Rabbi?" I think about it. It's a nice thing to think about. What kind of garment or cloth? Cloth, let's say cloth. What kind of cloth right now is not makabel tuma, but in the future it's makabel tuma? No, I'm waiting.
Hard leather that's softening.
No, cloth. What kind of cloth right now, made out of wool, right now is not makabel tuma, but tomorrow it will be makabel tuma. So there's three answers, very simple, so we could go quickly. They're all the same. They don't argue. Just one adds to the other. One is a tiny piece of cloth that's like a patch for, like back in the day, if you had what?
Small handkerchief.
Not a handkerchief. It's more like a patch, a 3x3. Sheer. So in general, it's not considered a cloth. But if your mother is the type that she's going to patch your pants with that thing, so now she turned it into a piece of clothing. So before it wasn't makabel tuma, now it is. Or let's say a tablecloth. Tablecloth. You go to the store, you buy a 15-foot piece of cloth. Now you can't put it on your table. It's going to drag everywhere. Your wife still wants to cut it down to size. So until you cut it down, it's also. But that's even in a larger piece of cloth. And another shot, the middle one is a talis bag. Let's say you go to the store and you buy a talis bag that doesn't have your name on it. So it's not finished. It's not a finished product until you embroider your name on it. And it's a big thing because you say, oh, but it's a bag. But nobody walks around with a bag like that. It's only when you finish it and you put your final name. So that's not tamei, and it could be tamei in the future. So according to review, it could be tamei in the future. It's tamei right now, today, even though you didn't put your name on it, even though you didn't cut it, even though it's only 3x3. It's roy in the future. It could in the future. But according to Rabbi Elazar, no, it has to be right now, today. And if your name is not on it, and it's too long or too short, whatever, right now it's not makabel tuma. You don't have to wash it out. It's not one of those clothing that you have to wash. Omer Abai. Omer Abai. He says the answer is matlas pusam shalosh igmenayu. If you have a piece of clothing that's less than throughout Shas, just to remember, shalish al shalish means 3 fingers by 3 fingers. Shleisha al shleisha means 3 tfachim by 3 tfachim. Over here we're talking about shalish al shalish is 3 by 3. That's the minimum of a beged. Even a poor person won't collect something so small. But mandama roy hanami roy. In the future, it could become available as a kli. The boy choshev aleh. If he wants to, he can think about it. And Mando Omar, Dova Makabel Tuma, Hamia Labas Kabul Tumi, right now it's not. So what it says here in the Gemara, a more bigger thing, it says here like this: that if you have a piece of cloth, listen to this, if you have a piece of cloth that's 3x3, and in my mind, I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to use this as a patch for my elbow, because I have a hole here, I'm going to use it as a patch, poof, I physically make it into a beged. Because Yiddishkeit is all in the head. And not only that, I could change something physically. I could say this is not a beged, but right now I am going to use it for my kid's patch on the knee, and I turned it into a beged with my head. So we always talk about how Yiddishkeit kavana is something that's very essential to Judaism. You have to have the right kavana and put it in the right place, etc., etc. But I want to go one step further. L'kaved Chanukah. It hit me that a lot of people, not a lot of people, all human beings have tsaras in their life. Every single human being has a tzara in their life. Some more, some less. The amount of people that I know of now, recently, that don't have children, that are trying to have children, you might not even be aware of all these young couples that are married for 5, 6, 7 years and the tzara they go through. Divorces, loss of a child, losing money, job stuff, endless, machlas, right? So all people have the right to be sad about it. You can be sad. And you're supposed to have avelos, and you're supposed to be sad. But you can choose, you have the right, you have a good reason to be sad for the rest of your life. Or you could choose in your mind to be happy. It's all in the mind. You could decide on your own take your matzah and say, and nevertheless, I am going to overlook this or be misgaber and be a happy person. It's all in the mind. That is also in the mind. You could change a metzias of being sad. You could change that metzias into being happy. Masking or not masking? Not so masking? Okay. I'm just throwing it out there. I'm not. Maybe I don't want to hear from the guy who says, "How do you have the right?" Okay. Say that. Weiter. Azmana? Okay, listen. I told you, there's certain questions that we don't ask in Daf Yomi. That's one of them. We're learning Poshet Pshat. I don't want to...
It has to be Roy, what you want to ask.
Yeah. Listen, I can't get the yeshiva guy out of him. At the end of the day, you're a yeshiva guy. Don't let these kind of kashas bog you down. I'm not to be misunderstood. I'm not trying to get the yeshiva guy out of you. I'm saying we're learning Daf Yomi here. We got to do a daf a day. Fine. Rav Omar, he's not arguing. He's adding. You think that we're talking about a tiny piece of clothing? I'm telling you, even something chashuv. Rav Omar, beged shechishav alel tzura. Mamish like this. Like first, I have to give a curse to this person, but this is tzura right over here. This is tzura embroidery. Says the art school embroidery. So if you have a blank thing, if you saw this in the store, what's the name of this place again? A Majestic Giftware. No. Yeah. Fine. Very hard. It's beautiful. And I love it. This is great. Weeks and weeks. If you go to the store and you just see the blue part, it's not a finished product. You have to put the guy's name on it, the logo, the whole thing. Then it becomes a finished product. So up until that point, what daf are we in? Yeah. Got it. So 93 daf in. Says Rava, if he thought that he's going to embroider it, so right now he didn't embroider, like Ash used to be the biggest embroiderer in Borough Park. Mandama Roy, Hanami Roy. In the future, you're going to put the guy's name on it. So right now, it's Makabal Tumah, because in the future you could do it. Mandama Roy, Hanami Roy, he could say, you know what? I don't want to put the name on it. At the end of the day, right now, it's not Makabal Tumah. Rav Omar. You have a tablecloth. Even Rashi says it's talking about something that covers the table. And it happens. I know my wife. She'll go to the market. She went all the way to Tel Aviv to find a certain fabric. She said, no, this place is unbelievable. She traveled by herself, the whole thing. She comes back home with more fabric than necessary. You have to go, take it to a professional, cut it down, put a stitch. Until that point, it's not a beged. Right now, it's not finished yet. I'm sorry, I jumped. I went backwards. It's not until you cut it down. But I'll prove it to you. If you have a tablecloth that you thought about cutting it down to size, it's tar until you cut it down to size. Ein ton kibus. So the Mishnah says you don't have to wash only that area that is dirty. How do we know this? Rabbanon, easy stuff. I'll think that if it dirty the entire beged, you have. A little piece of the beged, you have to wash the entire beged. From asher yiza, only that spot clean it. Yeah, is that the lashon they say? Davar shu roy l'kabel tumah. Stomach Rabbi Yehuda. That what? Again, we have the machlekes now. According to Rabbi Yehuda, if in the future it's something that's available to become tamei, so even now it's mikabel. You have to wash it, even though it's not a mikabel tumah today. Royal kibus. It has to be something that's available to launder. Lemute kli debar gridu. Something that you just scrape off and you don't launder. Echad abega v'echad asak. And of course, leather. By the way, there's something special, that this whole sugya is a Shabbos sugya, and it's not in Masechta Shabbos at all. It's only in Masechta Zevachim. Remember the Ori Bar Kibusu, so you're telling me that hide, leather, is something that you wash. Viriminu. I have a question. You have something disgusting on your pillow. You're allowed to take a napkin, a towel, and take it off. Take off the top layer. What? Without water. If it's from leather, hide. You can pour water on it. Now, Midoraisa, pouring water on a beged is a isser deraisa. Yeah, Malabed. If you have a chont on your clothing and you take seltzer, a lot of people in America, seltzer is better than water. Take seltzer, you go like this on Shabbos. Isser deraisa. Could be, right? If you're makbid on it and the right there, that's the worst. But on leather, you're allowed to put water on it. So what does that tell me? What does that tell me? It tells me that leather is not something washable. If it was washable, it would be usr. So how come you're telling me that leather is one of these things that you have to wash from blood? You're right. It's machlekes rabbanon and acherim. Acherim might be remeir. Over here, our story goes like acherim, and over there, Masechet Shabbos, it goes like rabbanon. The sanya habeged v'asak mechapsoi hakliva or megaroi, or you scrape it off. In other words, you're not allowed to put water on it. No, even leather, you're allowed to launder. Now we're going to have this 4 times. This line, so it's a freebie. Learn it once, you'll understand it 4 times. He says, Rav Chia bar Ashi said, I was by Rav, Zimin Sagin, many times, have a ki'im nekamei de Rav, I would wash his shoes with water on Shabbos. I rinse off his shoes. Imagine the schos, getting on your knees and washing your Rebbe's shoes with water. Iman, I heard a story about Rebbe Yashiv that his wife, every time he came back from Oil Sar, wherever he used to learn every day, she would grab his shoes and wash them down. He always had nice shoes because he was the path of dirt. Okay, Maisa of the Rebbetzin. I called upon him. He would wash. How can you wash shoes on Shabbos? If it's a washable item, you're not allowed to wash with water. Command, Kirabanan, must be like Rabbanan. Omer Rava, Umiki Lamanda Omer, or Lab Bar Kibusu. What? There's a Rabbanan that hold that it's not a laundry thing. But Ksiva, Habegedoy Shisi, Oya Erev, that's referring to the Tzaras. It says, Va Beged, Oyshir, Oykol Kli Ar, Asher the Chaves. It's talking about you, even in leather, you wash leather. Elo Marava, Kro, Maslisim Barakin, Kipligi Bekoshan. There's a difference between soft and hard. When it's soft, 100% it's launderable. But when it's hard, that's where we have a machlekes. Here we are, second time. The shoes are soft. So how did he wash soft shoes? Because he had very hard shoes. How's it possible to tell me? So he's not going to argue in himself. But he's saying the pasuk doesn't make sense. Why? Not that the pasuk doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to learn that in the pasuk. That what? You're going to tell me there's a difference between hard and soft in the pasuk? The Torah says leather. And you're going to tell me, no, it only means one type of leather. Not the leather that comes from this and this city. Only that. It's only talking about soft leather. They have to wash. Even leather that comes from overseas, and it's hard. Even that needs to be washed. Saras, where does saras on a kli come from? Within. It makes it weak, and it's like soft leather because the area that the saras comes out becomes soft, so that you have to wash. But if I have a question, you want to ask a question? This is the question. Is the rakim ninu. You have a soft pillow. 90% of people sleep on soft pillows, unless you're a Shteiman, you sleep on a rock or something, or Yaakov Avinu. But most people, soft pillow. Usnan, if your pillow is made out of leather, you let to pour water on it until the stain goes up. But you just told me that everybody agrees that if it's soft, it's considered washing. It's aser. Any kind of washing that you don't rub the 2 things like this, one against the other, that's not washing. But what do we do with the story? He would rinse the shoes with water. It seems like the rubbing it would be a problem. And if it's soft, it will be also according to everybody. And if it's hard, it's only one shita that would be aser. If you're talking about that, it's the only isser is to go like this. Beged nami. Why can't you spill water on clothing? If you're not going to go like this, why is that aser? Says the Gemara, Beget Shriyasei Zeu Kibusai. Putting in water, even without rubbing it, that's considered kibus. If you put your clothing into water, it's kibus. You put a seed in the water. We could continue that later, but I want to show you this video, so at least you have one Gishmaka video to go home to. I got to do the sponsors after the video. It says don't open this up. That's awesome. You know that guy? Every shul has one.
צדיק אסור לנקות את האבק מהבגד. אדרבה.
Gary hears this. A week later, no, he says it's a covered for Shabbos to leave it on. You should have dust on your things when it's for Shabbos. No, because I told him the story of the Chazanish. The guy came to him with a hat on Shabbos. He says, "What should I do? It's dirty." He says, "That's the beauty of Shabbos. You leave the dirt on." And there's one more. Okay, we should leave it for tomorrow. It's already like no, one more, just for today.
איסור חמור לנקות את הכיפה, אפילו שזה לכלוך קטן.
Even though it's small, this is awesome.
Are you all right?
ומה שהוא אוסר כן מותר?
That's allowed.
כן, בחור צעיר, זה כן מותר.
That's mutter. To wipe it off, the top part of the layer is mutter, but to get the dust out, noam, even a little dust. Rabbi Sai. Oh, sponsors. Wow. Turning to the Daf, Adar Global Specialized in International Services, Stephen Schwartz, the Nishmois, my parents, Million J. Schwartz, former owners of Arnes Deli in Lakewood, New Jersey. Afreil and Chanukah and Rabbi Sai. Have a wonderful day.
Merit the schus of spreading Torah throughout the world. Sponsor a shir today. MDYsponsor.com or sponsor at MDYDaf.com.